I'm about to, pull my hair out because like our district's focus is solely on academics right now. Like that doesn't need to be the focus right now.
What's up, guys? Corey Allen here, the Overton Report. I just got out of a dental surgery, so I feel kind of like a chipmunk. I might look a little like a chipmunk, but we're here, and I really wanted to go ahead and touch base on this Lisa Ellis for state superintendent thing again. Now, if you don't know Lisa Ellis, she is the founder of SC for Ed, which is a far left, like super far left teacher advocacy group. It came in under the guise of getting raises for teachers. Never did that, but they have done all of these crazy diversity training things and really like driven the point home that they really need to get your kids real young. You need to educate them real young on LGBTQ issues, gender theory, critical race theory. And this isn't hyperbole. I mean, these are their stated goals, and it's all over the place. But what I'm about to show you is going to blow your mind. It would be hilarious if it wasn't so frightening. So if you haven't seen what some of the teachers in these diversity groups have said, I'm going to go ahead and play you just a little clip so you can see that I'm not just making this up.
The fluidity of gender. I think what's really important for people to know is that the LGBTQ plus community doesn't know everything. We're still learning new things every day. We still define ourselves in new ways. So I identify as genderqueer, but I'm super feminine. So the way I present myself always comes off as she, her, but I always have to say, no, it's they, them. I suppose if we educated people more inside schools, especially at a young age, that we could do a lot more good, especially at a young age.
So with that, and then the librarian of the year pushing this porn book called Genderqueer, it's literally animations of like gay sex and sex in general. It's very strange. Pushing that book and others, of course, Stamped and How to Be an Anti-Racist by Ibram Kendi, who literally used to believe and preach and write that white people are literal aliens. So that's the messiah of critical theory, critical race theory. On top of them pushing all of this, I kind of wanted to show you something that I ran across that it really blew my mind, because it made me think, you're so close. You almost get it. You almost understand why we don't want to tell 4-year-old and 5-year-old boys that they can be girls. You almost understand, but you're so far. It's like the closer you get, the further away you are. It's wild. And you're going to see what I mean in a minute. So when you and I talk, where we say that these kids are just too young to be learning about this stuff, right? They have no idea what they want. Well, if you saw this video out of context, you would swear that Lisa Ellis agrees with you. Watch.
Kids don't need to be worrying about that when they're kids. There's no place for that young. No place.
Did you get it? Here's what they were actually saying elementary students are too young for.
Like this whole career readiness stuff that they're now pushing down into elementary schools. I'm like, in elementary schools, you do your career day, and then have the firefighter come in and the whoever come in and the insurance salesman, and then that be the kids. Kids don't need to be worrying about that when they're kids. There's no place for that young. No place.
I mean, I would also like to point out, Lisa Ellis, that I was going to law school and you were going to be a forest ranger, and neither one of us are doing those.
Absolutely. I was going to be a National Geographic photographer. I was going to work in forestry. What else was I going to do? All kind of stuff.
Okay, do you see the insanity of this? Do you see it? This group and groups like them, these activist teachers that are all over the state, are going into these critical race theory continuing ed classes. Here's just one slide from one of those classes. We've got a whole bunch more, so stay tuned. They're fine with them learning queer gender theory, gender ideology, critical race theory. Oh, it doesn't exist. It's only in law school. It's not in schools. It's only real history. It should be taught. It isn't, though, but it is. And here's the proof. They're fine with your elementary students learning all of that, but those kids are just too young to think about what they want to be professionally. They're too young to have these absurd notions of being a fireman when they grow up. It's perfectly fine for little Johnny to want to grow up to be little Diana, but it's not okay for little Johnny to want to grow up and be a policeman or a fireman or, I don't know, a CPA, whatever the case may be. Do you see how sick and twisted these people are? And this is not the extreme. Like, this woman has a ton of support from South Carolina teachers, and this is what they believe.
And so to try to shift back to, as you said, that nostalgic way of doing things, when we really learned and grew so much through this COVID experience, to me is another head scratcher. You know, why would we want to return back? And as you pointed out, the shift is suddenly academics, and they're so far behind. And again, we say behind what? If everybody's on the same playing field.
Reflect on whether, you know, in 2021 or in the middle of a pandemic, you know, I'm about to, you know, pull my hair out because like our district's focus is solely on academics right now. Like the academics, that's a nebulous marker, right? And something that we don't like, that doesn't need to be the focus right now.
So make no mistake, this isn't a joke, this isn't a game, this is real. These people really exist and they really are fighting for this. And they really are willing to do whatever it takes to push their ideological agenda forward. I don't even know what to say. Look, sign up for the overtonreport.substack.com because a lot of these critical race theory continuing ed classes and the presentations and all of this other stuff, we've got a lot of stuff coming up on it. So you need to go ahead and sign up. Sign up for my YouTube account. Just search the Overton Report and Rumble in case that one gets deleted. Stay tuned. We've got a lot more. Just in Pickens today, they decided to, in Pickens, South Carolina, they decided to hold a lunch and just have all the kids split up by race to have this counselor from Fort Mill, South Carolina, come in and help them cope with being a minority student in a white school. It's beyond the pale. Beyond the pale horse, as they say. What do? You tell me. Tell me in the comments. Share this. Make sure everyone you know in South Carolina sees this. My name's Corey Allen, and this is the Overton Report, and this is real life. What the